Welcome to episode 101 of Checkpoint Chat.
Dalmatians. I told you I'd do it.
Yeah, you've been waiting. I mean, the
100
podcast is now
episodes
redundant. You only joined so you could get that joke in.
I know. This is the last episode. Sorry, guys. It's fine.
My name's
Goodbye.
Alessandro Barbosa. That's Matthew Figueroa with the bad jokes.
I think you mean good jokes, but that's fine. 101. We
Cruella
made
de
it.
bad jokes.
We celebrated with no cake last week, but it's fine. We'll be ready for 200. Hopefully,
We're not celebrating with 101 dogs this week, though.
No.
Although I'm close to that number. I've got like a tenth of that.
Yeah, you got 110 dogs divided.
Well,
by
if
10.
you add up all your animals, you've got pretty close to a tenth too. How many tortoises do you have?
We've got 4 tortoises
And two
2
cats.
dogs and 2 cats. We've got 9, and we've got a goldfish. So that's 10.
How did
In
you
fact-
get to 9?
What?
4 tortoises, 2 cats, and 2 dogs. That's 8, my dude.
Yeah, and a goldfish. That's 9.
That's 9. And then you went to 10.
But I rounded up. My bad.
How dare you
I
get your
mean,
maths wrong on this podcast?
We can't call this 101 Dalmatians. It's more like Animal Farm. But the not sad one.
I don't think I've ever read or... It is a book, right?
It's a book, yeah. But
I don't think I've read Animal Farm.
Farm.
Isn't it meant to be
It's-
like communism?
Yeah, basically. And what's weird is that there's like an animation that came out. It must have been like 80s or 90s. And I watched it as a kid, not knowing what... I mean, the story meant nothing to me. I was just there for the animals. And yeah, I don't remember much of it, but thinking about it, I'm like, why did I watch
Is
that?
it the animals revolting against the humans?
I honestly can't remember. I just remember, I distinctly remember, was it a pig eating jam? That's all I remember.
Okay.
I'm going to look it
Okay.
up. Pig eating jam, Animal Farm.
Every time someone mentions Animal Farm, I just remember Charlotte's Web.
No, that's the saddest book in the
It's
world.
so sad, yeah.
God
I mean,
damn.
it's
What?
the only piece of media where I actually like the spider.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, the only time in media where you feel sad for the spider.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I think you and I are part of a majority, but our minorities are like, spiders are friends. I'm like, no. You're wrong.
I'm
Spiders
petrified of spiders.
Spiders live to murder humans.
So
seen it with my own eyes.
we have this little like storeroom underneath. You've been to my house, the little patio we have.
I know.
So there's this.
It's a dead zone. You should never go in there.
So yeah, no, I definitely do not go in there because my dad. I've often helped my dad with stuff, getting stuff out of there, and every piece of whatever he pulls out of there just is like crawling with spiders.
Oof.
But we have like construction going on at the house this week. Everyone's wearing masks. Relax.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And our 4 cats that like live outside are petrified. So
Yeah,
then the one went missing, and we found that she got stuck somewhere in that little like attic.
Oh no.
Fuck my life.
Did
I
you
had
have
to go in there with my mom and look for her and try and get her out, and spiders
no.
everywhere. I was not happy.
How are you still alive? Is this the ghost I'm talking to?
Yeah, I mean, it might as well be. My soul is forever
It
changed.
left your body. There's also underneath the house here. There's a whole little storeroom. I've never been in there because I'm also like, nah, it's all good. But although in Madeira, the family home we have there, because we only really go every couple of years, whatever, that place collects spiders a lot.
I can imagine.
And so the main house is fine because I think someone does go and clean it like every now and then, whatever. But the attic there. So remember where we took photos on like that upstairs area?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, there's a door that goes like into the ceiling, like the beams. I'll never forget as a kid looking inside there and just seeing like spider webs everywhere. It's like, hell, it's fun.
That sounds like the typical like movie attic. Like, nope, never gonna go in there.
Whoever goes in there is gonna die.
Yeah, no, that's the only time you go in there is when you burn the house down.
The only time you walk in there is when you put the gasoline down and you flick the match and you run.
It's just
you
to
don't
throw the Zippo lighter in there to ignite everything.
God.
Did you find something about a pig and jam?
No, because when I look up pig and jam, Animal Farm, I literally just get photos of pigs eating jam in real life.
Have you seen that meme, or I don't know if it's a meme, but it was a picture circulating not too long ago of this corgi that ate a lot of jam and then looked like it was dead on the floor?
No? Oh, I have. I've seen
It's so cute. It's terrifying because you're like, oh my God, this corgi's died. And then you just realize he's like in a sugar coma on the floor. Like
he's just like overdose.
Yeah.
Although it's funny, we forget like, so when I feed the cats, for example, what often goes through my mind is like, shame, it's such a small helping. It's like a little bowl. But you have to remember their tummies are way smaller than ours. Yeah. So corgi eating a whole jar of jam.
Oh my God, it must have felt so ill. I feel super bad. Do your cats do the thing where they eat too fast and then just throw up?
Every now and then. I've had it before where, like the one morning, I think Solenska gets up before me and she often feeds the cats because I'm still sleeping or whatever. The one morning I like literally sat up because I heard, I think it was Luna, just like going like,
oh, that lurching. It's horrible.
I woke up, looked over, and as I opened my eyes, just
yeah.
Like, thanks.
I know that sound. Yeah, they're just like, and you're like, oh fuck, it's over.
Goddamn.
It's like it started.
If they ever do that on the bed, I'm like, I'm sorry, I know you're dying, but I'm gonna put you on the floor.
Yeah,
so Lupin's like, put me down.
Help me.
Like, not on the bed.
We used to have a cat that used to do it like fairly often, like almost every second feed she would just throw up and I'd be like, okay, what the hell. But so one of my cats did it recently and I was like, I forgot cats do this.
But it's funny because it's like I can't figure out why. There's no like rhyme or reason. Sometimes it just happens, sometimes it doesn't. So what I've taken to doing, just because my cats are fiends for eating, is that I feed them their portion over like 2 or 3 servings in the space of an hour. Because I found it's so weird. Like when I lived with my mom, we would honestly just top up their bowls. They would eat until they were satisfied, and then like they would. I am
shocked Lupin is not a ball.
Yeah, okay, but they would eat until they were satisfied. When I moved in with Lenska, Luna became a little round ball of fluff because she would just scoff everything. So we had to take to feeding them portions. But it's weird because they whine like they are so hungry. And what I do is I feed them both. One of them will like eat a bit and then bugger off. The other one's like, look at this extra food here. And just eat the other portion. So I'd now give them 2 or 3 smaller portions over like an hour.
So you make sure they eat and don't steal from each other.
And they don't projectile vomits. And there's been 1 or 2 times where Luna's like, yeah, I'm actually full. Yeah. Like I'm done. Like,
she's still a ball.
Listen, she's lost a bit of weight. She's still a little. I think she's especially fluffy now because it's winter.
She's just big boned. It's okay.
She's big boned. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she is beautiful. She's majestic AF.
I knew things were getting out of hand when Lupin started picking up weight. I was like, oh no. So I draw the line.
Hey, he turned 9 years old this week.
Yeah.
His birthday was just after yours. Was that like a coincidence or did you get a cat for your birthday?
I think 9 years. Yeah, because he's turned 9. So 9 years ago, my brother and sister-in-law, they got me him basically for my birthday.
Oh, did your brother and sister-in-law get him for you?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. And it's actually a cute little story where so my sister-in-law Daniela, they went to a pet store to get him. Actually, I don't know if you know this, I actually had 2 cats. They got me 2, but the one was very sickly and ended up dying.
No, so Lupin had a brother. Met Lupin.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other one didn't last very long, unfortunately.
That's sad.
But Lupin apparently was like, there was a pile of kittens, and Lupin was underneath all of them. And then Daniela chose him because she's like, oh, he's so cute.
He's dying.
He's dying. Yeah. He's a good cat.
So you got him in 2011, and I only really met you like 2 years later. So when I first saw Lupin, he was like quite small.
He was little, yeah.
Huh.
Super little.
For some reason, I always thought he was just like a matured cat.
No, he is. I mean, 9 years old. He's like in his mid-40s in human years.
Yeah, that's true. Cats live. I keep thinking of it in terms of dogs, and cats just live like super long.
They live way longer. Yeah, it's a weird thing actually, because I mean, so like bigger dogs tend to live what, like 10 to 12 years, maybe.
Yeah, right. If they're lucky, actually, yeah.
And then smaller dogs live like also 12 to 15, I'd say, maybe 20. But cats generally, I think they reach 15 like comfortably.
Yeah, pretty easily. I've had 2 cats now that have comfortably reached like 17, 18. So
yeah, it's wild to think that Lupin's been around for 9 years. And like he watched me. like start studying. Or he actually watched me like get my first job, starts to go back to studying, finish my degree, go back to working, watch me like meet Lenska. I'm like, he's been around for a lot of big events in my life. God damn.
He's very cute. He's one of the most lovable cats I know. He's super cool.
He's super demanding.
He is quite
that
demanding.
Cuteness.
Is he busy walking on your desk right now?
He's walking on my hair as we speak.
Well, that's just a lie because I can see you, and that's definitely not happening.
I've got a placard up. This isn't the real me. This is a recording.
Oh, is this the green screen?
It's gonna fall over. I'm gonna be sitting behind, just sleeping.
Speaking of green screen, this is a bit of a plug, but I think it's just really funny. GameSpot got in contact with Tim Sweeney and got him to send over a like high resolution photo of his study that he used during that Summer Games Fest stream.
Oh yeah.
So now you set it as your Zoom background if you really want.
Oh no way!
With his
need to have that.
His little plasma ball and his little desk in the background.
I need that so badly.
It's very good. It's very good. And Tim Sweeney was a real champ and just like like gave it over. It was very funny and very cute.
What a dude.
Yeah, what a dude. Wow.
Speaking of Tim Sweeney.
Epic games. Epic video games. Hey.
Epic Games Gaming Podcast.
We Checkpoint Chat, we talk about video games. I mean, if this isn't your first rodeo here, you know how it goes.
You know how a lot of shit.
Yeah, we do.
We speak at the shit, and then we speak at the games.
And the games, at least on my side, haven't been that different this week.
Likewise, been playing this same shit, different day. Am I right?
Wow. Yeah. Exactly. Make gaming sound so terrible.
God damn. Well, the game you've been playing hasn't
yeah, so I played more Crucible. We spoke about it a lot last week. But
I
since then Matty joined. Yeah, you joined for a session.
I played like literally an hour and a half, and my immediate impression it was sort of I understood exactly where your criticisms were coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything you had said, because we played it was the same day, like late in the afternoon.
Yeah,
it was Sunday.
No, it was later that afternoon.
Was it later that day? And everything you had said in the morning, I was like, yep, I see that. Yep, this is frustrating. Yep, why didn't they do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game, like, it's annoying because despite the flaws, I did actually enjoy playing the game. But it's one of those things of like, this is cool. But if I play it for another hour or two, I'll be sick of it.
That's essentially it. Like the first 2 or 3 hours as I was playing it, I was like, this isn't too bad. But it's like, it just doesn't have the depth to be captivating for a very long time. You know what I mean?
And there are a few other things that you didn't mention that I feel need. I mean, you did mention that the map's very big. That moving around it is very slow. But then thinking about it after I played, it's like the characters in general just feel slow.
Yeah.
Clunky.
They just feel slow, yeah.
The like there's a lot of random enemies on the map, but it's usually these giant creatures and they're like very slow moving, and there's almost it's like lazy shooting almost. You see one and you're like, oh okay, I suppose I'll shoot it, run over, pick up the blue orbs, it drops. There's no nothing really kept me on my toes, if I could put it that way. Apart from when you encountered the enemy teams, that was fun. It was like, okay, we need to. It
was weird. We actually had some of the most balanced games I played when we played together.
Yeah. And that was fun because it was like we killed one of them, they killed one of us, we killed one of them, and it was like, oh my god, it comes down to 1v1, whatever. Like that's fun, but that happens too infrequently, I feel. But yeah,
I also feel those creeps. It's like I keep thinking of Dota, and I'm like, if you look at those creeps and you're like, okay, cool, they're just little AI things. But if you don't respect what they can do, they will fuck you up. Like they will mess your shit up.
Not
and
these dudes.
In Crucible, it's so easy to just walk backwards and never get hit by this thing that's coming at you.
The only thing that hits real hard is the Hive.
Yeah, those little drones that it shoots.
I'm
holy
like,
shit.
Okay, that's hectic. But the creatures themselves, they start like lumbering towards you. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'll shoot you. It's fine.
And they also just look weird because whenever they die, it looks like their animation is not in step with your frame rate. So it's like the animation is like 30 frames or something, and it just looks terrible. It just looks horrible.
It's a pity because I think underneath all of that, the concept's there. It really just needs It's like, I hate to say it, but it's almost like it needs how No Man's Sky rebooted, or even how Anthem supposedly is rebooting, whatever. It needs like the core idea is there. It just needs...
It needs so much more polish and balance,
Yeah.
Because it's just like... It feels like a thing you play once or twice in a week and then go, yeah, that was neat, and then you return back to like your Overwatch or your Counter-Strike or something. Like your more engaging online games. This doesn't seem like one you stick with.
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison. When you put them up against the likes of Overwatch and Counter-Strike and Dota, like all the games that sort of have some sort of DNA that they share, like it looks like pales massively in comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, put Crucible next to Dota, like I'd rather play Dota. Put next to Counter-Strike, I'd rather play Counter-Strike. Next to Overwatch, I'd rather play overwatch. And you're entering a market where you need to have people commit to the game and you want them to play for hundreds and thousands of hours, whatever, But all you're getting is maybe people giving a weekend, an hour or two, and then they bounce off. Like, yeah.
It's actually kind of weird because I have not played Overwatch in maybe 2 years, but after playing Crucible, I was like, I should get back into Overwatch. I wonder if I'll enjoy it a bit more now. That was the main takeaway I took from it.
I haven't played Overwatch for... So the last year I haven't even played Brigitte. Like, that's...
Yeah, I can't recall the last time I played, honestly.
Yeah, we've got Brigitte, we've got Doomfist, you've got Echo, you've got Ashe, like all these new characters I've just never played.
I'm just tempted because I know a lot of people at GameSpot play and really enjoy it. Like there's this crowd there that plays Overwatch quite religiously and another crowd that plays Apex quite religiously, and I'm like jealous of both because both games sound like they're in really good places at the moment.
Yeah, I think Apex, I don't know about Overwatch because from what I've heard from like my colleagues and just the general sentiment is that Overwatch is like, it's okay. It's not at the high it used to be. But Apex I feel is super strong.
Yeah, Apex at the moment,
new season, everyone's loving it.
Yeah, and even this spills into news a bit, but like EA said Season 5 has been like their best yet. They've seen lots of new players coming in and lots of player retention, just people sticking around. So yeah, I know Overwatch is in a good place because, I mean, I don't know personally, but IGN recently re-reviewed it and gave it a 10. So
really?
Yeah.
Shit. I need to dive back into it. I mean, I'm speaking from like the opinions I've heard. I haven't actually played it myself.
I want to dive back into it, but I also know I'm like I know the game is a different beast on PC because people are just so good. So
yeah.
Like listen, if you ever dive back in, I'll join you. Put it that way. I don't want to solo queue that shit.
I've just been playing bits and pieces of Left 4 Dead.
Oh, did you still play some more this week?
I played one campaign last night. The game's so good. We're making our way through all of them.
Nice.
Experts. It's good time.
I need to double check if I have it so I can join. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds like so how long does a campaign take? Like an hour?
It's about an hour. If you play, so we're playing on experts, which means you die every now and then. It'll take you like an hour and 20 minutes, depending on how much you die. But if you play on normal or advanced, you can get through a campaign in like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Like, it's not long.
Does it? I assume it has, but I know the first game was really, air quotes, revolutionary because of that AI game director it had, where it was basically populating levels dynamically with enemies and enemy positions. So every time you played, it was different. So I'm assuming 2 has the same thing. You can play the same level, but positioning is completely different.
Well, what do you mean with the AI director?
Yeah, basically, like you don't you don't play the same campaign and go, okay, when I turn this corner, there's going to be 2 hunters.
No, yeah, that AI director is so smart. Like even just the AI in general, where so Left 4 Dead, if you remember, every special infected has like a very distinct sound. Like when there's a hunter nearby or a smoker or whatever, and it's so funny because you'll know that like they're just behind that door there. But the AI knows, like, you're looking at the door, so they won't come out. They won't peek or anything until you, like, move on.
Oh, my God.
I mean, and this AI, look, 2009 is not that long ago, but today and even back then, it's like, whoa.
Quite revolutionary,
That's quite revolutionary, yeah. And actually, Left 4 Dead 2's got something that I never realized. I think, like, Apex is praised massively for its ping system. like if you ping a door, it'll be like the door's open or the door's closed, or here's a ammo or here's a gun, whatever. Left 4 Dead's got a very similar system. It doesn't ping up on the map or anything, but you can look at an item and push a button with your character, and they'll say Molotov here or medkit here or something.
That's cool.
Which I completely forgot about. I mean, that game had that back then.
Yeah, I don't recall that feature at all. So that's
So I mean, like in a modern context, it would be you point the thing out and it gets highlighted for others, but it didn't have that. But it was. I was actually shocked.
But if you hear a character going Molotov here, then assuming you're communicating with them, it's like okay, cool.
That's very cool.
Wow, look at that. A game from 2009 has a ping system and voice chat that is far better than Crucible.
Get out. It's actually, weirdly enough, do you remember the Left 4 Dead 1 intro movie? Like this opening cinematic?
I think if I started watching it, it would like come back to me, but I can't
come back to you.
Think of it off the top of my head. So no.
Maybe you could help me understand this. I looked it up on YouTube yesterday, and weirdly enough, I found the trailer posted on an EA YouTube channel in France. But I'm like, it's a Valve game. Like, did EA help publish it or something? Like, I don't know. Or was that like an upload error? I don't know. I was like, huh?
Did they maybe EA did console publishing? Helped with console publishing? I don't know.
I was very confused because I
Left 4 Dead. Oh,
I was like, I've never known Valve to work with EA. You know?
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Does it say anything? EA Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead.
It just says the publishers.
I mean, there's a Left 4 Dead support page on the EA website.
It could be
so weird.
So it could be that EA Partners, publisher of Portal 2, Left 4 Dead, and Crysis More, is shutting down. So I think maybe it was like a storefront thing, because I see support pages for Left 4 Dead. EA official site lists PS3 version of Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah, it seems like I think it was a store thing, not an actual publishing thing. Anyway.
Okay. Sorry. I just thought that was interesting. I was like,
that is quite weird, because I don't recall that as well. And I know at the time, that was like a weird time, because it was like, oh, Portal 2 is coming to console. It's like, oh my God, Valve is publishing stuff on console. I remember Gabe Newell was on Sony's stage at E3, and it was like, oh, shit like that. So that was like the Wild West of publishing.
Yeah. The Wild West.
It was a weird time.
Gung ho time we lived.
There was no Pele on stages. It was Gabe Newell.
He's like, I'm here to tell you about FIFA 09. Like,
get out of here.
This is a weird partnership, but it's cool. It's Gabe Newell.
I think I do recall everyone at the time was like, oh my God, he's going to announce Half-Life 3 and it's going to be on PlayStation. And that did not happen.
God damn. Well, you know what? With Half-Life Alex in the Wild, Half-Life 3 is no longer a pipe dream. It's there.
Did you see that liquid shader thing for Half-Life Alex?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Good Lord. This game, I need to play it. It's Lockdown Level 3. Come visit me.
I kind of just want to boot it up again just to mess around with the liquid thing.
With the it's used for 3 hours. Just walk around going, look at the liquid in this bottle.
Liquid.
Wow.
That's so cool. Like shaking the bottle and just seeing the liquids move around. So pretty fucking cool.
For those of you who don't know, it was literally an update this week where they've just made. What is it? Is it a texture or?
So it's a shader. What shaders do is they like mathematical algorithms that change the appearance of pixels.
Okay.
So like think of like when you look into the horizon and you see like the horizon looking all wavy because of the heat. The heat is like messing with that. In a game would be like a shader. It's like it's taking a static image and giving it an effect. Yeah. So that's what they've basically done. They've got some. It's not simulated liquid as far as I understand it. It's just a sort of texture that's mapped with this shader that makes it look like a liquid. That's how they do a lot of water in games as well.
Okay.
That's why when you break the bottle, there's not like a simulation of liquid out of it. It generally...
It just...
that shaders are way beyond my understanding. The maths behind them is unbelievable. It's
game dev is beyond my understanding.
It's really something. Shader math blows my fucking mind. So yeah,
Yeah.
for it to first, I know Neelan, our pal who works at Naughty Dog, he looked at that, and in a Slack channel he was just like, this makes me feel so inadequate at my job.
Like, okay,
because that's like part of his job is like dynamics modeling. So he's just like, I cannot produce something as good as this. I need to know how this works. And I was just like,
but
wow.
I mean, so as an example, if he sees that, do you think there's any way for him to look at it and be like, well, holy shit, this is possible now. I need to take a crack at this and figure it out. Maybe
Probably,
like,
yeah. I think seeing things that previously, you didn't think were, I don't know if possible is the right word, but like worth pursuing, drives you to be like, cool, I'm going to try replicate that, And the game dev industry is really good at, Gamasutra website, they have a lot of technical breakdowns from devs, which like go into the nitty gritty of how they did achieved a certain effect or did something. So yeah, I like that the industry like kind of shares their knowledge around, so everyone kind of benefits from it. I think there was an article on there this week about Gears Tactics, and it's like optimization stuff on PC, but the one was, I think there was a paragraph that was just focused on like the fidelity of one of the characters' beards. It looks pretty good.
What?
It's like, if you see this
amazing.
image, the beard is so like every little hair it's amazing. Yeah.
Good Lord.
The moustache of dreams.
But you heard it here first. Last of Us 2 will have physics in its bottles.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to happen.
It's like, I'll get it done before launch.
And when the bottles break, the liquid will simulate out realistically based on the force that you threw it with.
Wow.
Okay, let's not get too far
into this.
My God.
It's a new gameplay mechanic where you have to splash the bottle.
Yeah, there's actually a mini game where you have to get Ellie hammered before she can carry on. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, but yeah, there's nothing. I haven't really. I mean, I've played. I'm still chugging my way through Final Fantasy VII Remake on hard.
Oh yeah, I joined one of your streams this week, and I was just like, it was the it was the scene, the dance. I don't know. Is it a brothel? I don't know.
Go ahead. Did you see dancing?
No, it was you and Aerith at the reception talking to like a geisha, essentially.
Okay, that's fine. So
and then I was like, nope.
Nothing major was spoiled for you.
No, nothing major was spoiled for me. But I was like, I got you. You got as far as choosing one selection because you said some guide said you had to choose a certain.
Oh, wait. I was at the massage parlor.
Oh, is that a massage parlor? Okay.
That is
what type of massage parlor?
It is a weird part of the game. Hey, Lupin, what are you doing here? Let me tell you, you need to play the game to get to that chapter so we can talk and laugh about it.
I will get to it. I'm just enjoying the hell out of Assassin's Creed Origins still. It's bitten me in the way where hi Lupin. It's bitten me in the way where I've had 2 sessions now, like 2 play sessions where I haven't pursued any main missions. I'm just seeing points of interest on the map, and I'm like, I need to go there. And then I go there, and I'm like, ooh, there's another, because I came here, another point of interest opened up. I need to go there. I need to go there. Yeah.
I can't play this game. I need to just mainline it, else I'll never finish it.
My God, it's so good. And every little thing that I find is like, oh, it's an enemy camp that I can clear out, or it's like a little thing with treasure, or like it's got me. It's fucking got me.
How many hours have you put into it?
About 25 or so.
Sure.
And I zoomed out the map again yesterday, and there's like
a lot,
a bunch of regions I have not touched.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Sure.
And then there's still the DLC, and I kind of want to play the DLC because the one DLC is it goes all mythical, and it's like Bayek fighting undead pharaohs that have come back to life, and I'm like, that sounds like fucking fun.
It sounds awesome. I
want to do that. So yeah, there's a lot going on in Assassin's Creed, and then I've been watching Gianna Choa from Giant Bomb. He's playing Bloodborne for the first time. Because they're doing a lot of streams because they can't be in the office, so they just stream like every day. And his Bloodborne stuff has made me itch to go back to that game. I saw him do Canehurst Castle, and I'm like, fuck, I've never played that part.
That's the problem Oh, you missed that, yeah. I mean, in Dark Souls 3, there's a whole area I've missed as well. I need to go back to. But that's a problem with those games that... So, like, I've put Bloodborne and Dark Souls behind. Like, I finish them, cool, whatever. But the moment I watch any kind of gameplay, there's that itch. I'm like, ooh, I need to go back and play. Maybe I should just play it again or just dive in for a bit.
And then there's Nick DeBrain, who designed our lovely logo, on Twitter talking about Sekiro. And I'm like, I still haven't finished Sekiro, so it's like, fuck.
Well, so that drama was he was stuck on a particular mini boss, and it's
I know exactly which one he was talking about because I hated that one.
But it's typical of that sort of game where it's like you'll hit your head against a wall a lot, and you just have to persist. But he took to Twitter to like voice his frustration, like, no, this game's not gelling with me. And it was great because a lot of people have finished the game like, no man, you just need to like do this, or have you tried this, whatever. And then yesterday he posted a screenshot where he's gotten past that mini boss and actually fought like the next mini boss.
Stupid drunk bastard.
Yeah, but I'm like, good. That's the thing.
Yeah, like, that's the encouragement that you need to get past.
You're about to shelve the game, but you push through. Now it's gonna slowly gonna grab you. Like that's how those games do it.
I also did laugh because he's like, I eventually beat it by playing the lame way and taking out people stealthily. I'm like, that's how I would have done it from the beginning.
That's part of how you should do it initially. Yeah. Regard at that game.
But I do understand. I get where some of his frustrations are coming from because I do recall, especially early parts in that game, where I'm like, I just want to take a crack at this mini boss, but every time I die, I have to redo the stealth section and take out everyone carefully so that I can just have a chance at him alone. And sometimes that fight like lasts like 15 seconds for like 10 minutes of setup, and I'm like, this is annoying.
This is not the right way. Lupin, you cannot stand on the table. What are you doing?
He can.
You cannot. Okay. So that's all we've been playing. Oh my god! Look at
that's all we've been playing and watching and stuff. I haven't played a lot of Animal Crossing at all this week. I didn't even buy turnips last week. I totally forgot.
What? Lenska now in a precarious position. We haven't sold our turnips. We just haven't had a good price.
It's Saturday.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to offload them today, just quickly.
You have to. You just have to get it done. I should have still checked my prices. I could have maybe had a good price during the week, but
might have.
Oh well,
it's fun. I'm still on that. That Animal Crossing laugh. I know we talk about it every week, but it's because every week, just when I think I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, I've had enough. Then this week I'm like, actually, I want to redesign this part. I want to redo this part. I want to move this, and it's like it just never ends.
I think I need to push to unlock terraforming because then it's gonna let me open terraforming. Up.
Yeah, because I laid out a whole lot of resident houses, for example, and on the one half of the plots I chose, they're like right up against a river. So the plots are like stupidly small. But now with terraforming, like, you know what, here you go. I'll make the river a bit wide on the other side, give you a bigger piece of land on the side. You can just make it neat. You can design stuff how you want.
It's a bit dangerous leaving your island for a while because when I logged in and I hadn't been taking care of it, so many weeds all over the place. Weeds. My plants are just fucking pollinated everywhere and it was mayhem. Mayhem.
Good luck. Did you have any golden roses?
No. You get golden roses?
Apparently.
Wow. I got a purple one.
I've got like the dumb colors, like nothing rare. I've tried growing rare stuff, but it doesn't work for me. I don't think I'm committed enough to.
I got purple and black ones.
I've got black, yeah.
And what is interesting is that we're going into a new season soon. So from June 1st, it will be winter.
Here's an interesting nugget on that. So in my game, it's still very much autumn, where you can see it slowly going into winter. In Lenska's game, though, I can see that she every now and then gets a bit of snow. It's not covered in white, but you can see...
I've not seen that.
Yeah, so her scene's like a bit colder than mine somehow, which is very interesting, yeah.
I know mine is like super red at the moment. Like all my trees are red.
Yeah, my trees. But even that was cool. Over the period of these weeks, you're seeing them slowly go red.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's not just like the static, like, oh, you're in winter, boom, now all your trees are red. It was a fairly gradual change that I quite liked as well. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm still on that ground.
Game's good.
If you told me at the beginning of the year that I would have put 75 plus hours into Animal Crossing, I would have laughed and then cried and then laughed some more, and you would have sang a song. And yeah,
I would have been like Animal Crossing. Isn't that where that annoying Smash character comes from?
I'll play like a couple of hours and that's that. Oh, cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Done. Shit, I put so much time into that game.
Still can't believe I can't pocket anything as a villager. I mean, I get attacked by bees and I can't pocket bees, but in Smash I can pocket like a Hadouken. Yeah. Come on, please.
What is this, man? Come on.
Fucking
I actually must play Smash now, having played Animal Crossing. I think I'll have a much deeper appreciation for all those
growing
moves.
trees and cutting them down to
and cutting them down. Yeah.
My God, I mean, it's a really hard skill to pull off, but when you nail that tree and it hits someone, it is so satisfying.
They die.
It's like second only to nailing a knockout punch with Little Mac. Like, it is so good.
Some good stuff. Okay, but that's
cool.
The games we've been playing.
Should we talk about the games that we will be playing in the future?
Yes. What are we playing in future? What is actually coming out this week?
There is
having a fit.
4 games coming out this week.
What are they?
Blasts from the Past and New Horizons for shooters. Let's see if you can guess any of them.
Oh, is that my hint? Blast from the Past?
Yeah, one of them is a Blast from the Past. The other is a New Horizon for shooters. The other 2, I'm not smart enough to make hints for.
Is the Blast from the Past the Switch port?
Nope.
Damn it. I don't know. Put me out of my misery.
Command & Conquer Remastered Collection coming to PC on June 2nd.
Wow. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I played the original Command & Conquers on PlayStation 1. I distinctly remember that. With that good FMV.
I played Red Alert on PS1. And let me tell you, the longer the game went, the more laggy it became.
Oh God, it was just filling up your RAM or something the whole time.
But as a kid, I was like, the slideshow's annoying, but I'm enjoying this game.
Red Alert is the one with Tim Curry, right? Where he does the Final Frontier space line.
I can't remember.
Probably. I think that's a Red Alert. I just remember playing the normal Command & Conquer because that's where you have those 2 fictional armies, the GDI and Nod, and then the bad guy from Nod was always that bald guy, Kane.
Kane, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was very good for that role. Yeah. Did you ever play the first-person shooter in the Command & Conquer universe? I think it was called Renegade.
It was Renegade. I never did.
It was pretty cool. Good? Pretty cool. It had a multiplayer mode where you were basically like a soldier in like a game of Command & Conquer strategy. So whenever you got to those Towers of Nod, which were like your protection things, and they were like huge, and they would just like zap you and you'd die. So it was like a pretty cool like change of perspective on that. I quite liked it.
That's cool.
Do you want to guess on your New Horizon for shooters?
No.
Oh my God. Valorant coming out on June 2nd.
Oh.
Come on.
Have you? So here's something interesting. Okay, so Valorant, remember when it was in beta?
Like 2 days ago.
No, like over the last few weeks, it's been in beta, and you basically had to watch people stream it in order to get a drop keys, for the beta.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And it was like the number one thing watched on Twitch and like big hype, whatever.
People created bots for them and all sorts.
People created bots. So John Michael, so he pointed out to me this week that he said he's a controversial opinion. I don't think Valorant's going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's weird. Like I thought it looked pretty cool. I'm keen to try it. But then, have you looked at Twitch lately?
Mm-mm.
Because the game's got a release date and you don't need to watch Twitch to get any drops, it's not that watched on Twitch anymore.
Oh, really?
At the moment, it's only got 3,500 people watching it, which is like stupidly low. Given
that it was like in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, so let's put it into perspective.
But the beta's over now, so who's even playing?
No, well, the beta... Oh, yeah, I mean, not many people are playing, I suppose, but it's just interesting how it was this massive, like hundreds of thousands of people. Now it's just like crashed like 3,500. So when it launches, I mean, I think it'll pick up again, but it was interesting. I was like, I didn't expect that.
It was a very clever strategy to like give out the beta keys and drum up hype in one move. It was genius on Riot's part in that sense, but... Yeah, I guess you're right. It does kind of like inflate the interest in the game because you're not actually sure if people are watching because they're interested in it or they just want a fucking key. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is out.
So that's coming out.
I can't believe it's out next week. Like, I really thought it was still like way into development. I feel like from the time of, oh, Riot's developing a shooter to, oh, look, it leaked, to, oh, it's in beta, was like 6 months.
Insane, yeah.
Yeah.
Super
quick. Interesting. It's not my type of game, like, at all. It's a Twitch shooter like Counter-Strike. So, this is 100% your wheelhouse.
I can't wait.
But yeah, I don't mind watching it. I like watching it, but whenever I watch it, I'm just like, no, this is not my type of game.
Not fan
at all. Yeah.
Okay, what else is coming out?
So then we've got 2 more games for the week. One of them is The Outer Worlds, finally coming to Switch. It's been delayed, but now it's coming to Switch.
Outer Worlds.
Yeah, the Obsidian game from last year, the RPG.
How will that run on Switch?
Probably, I don't know. Every time I think a Switch port is going to be bad, it ends up being good, and then vice versa. So I don't know. I just know I bounced off this game pretty hard. It started off so strong, and I was like super into it, and then it just lost me. Like, I was just I'm bored now. So yeah, take that as you will. I know a lot of people love that game, but I bounced off of it. The last one out this week is 51 worldwide games for Nintendo Switch as well, on June 5th. This is like a collection of board games.
Board games, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's backgammon,
chess and checkers, all that. Does it include those two? I mean, I imagine it.
Chinese checkers?
No, well, yeah, Chinese checkers.
And checkers, yeah.
And checkers.
Has chess, even has a game that I only know of because it appears in Persona called Shogi, which is like a Japanese strategy game with like little tiles.
I see you're a man of culture as well.
It's even got like a bowling mini game, billiards, fishing.
Jeepers.
Don't know.
Fishing. Man, I love that board game.
Yeah, it's great.
I remember playing fishing as a kid.
I honestly, I'm drawn to it just because for some reason, a friend of mine has a backgammon board and got us into backgammon, and I really like backgammon. So having a digital version of backgammon seems like a cool time.
It's good.
Also, backgammon has no skill in it. It's all luck. I'm dying on this hill.
Wow. I cannot remember how to play backgammon.
It's super fun, but it really is dependent on you getting very good dice rolls.
Goddamn.
Yeah. I just know it's the game old people play outside like cafes.
If you go to Portugal, Madeira, the game old people play outside churches and cafes, dominoes.
That makes sense. Because one of my earliest childhood memories is like we have a domino set, and I still have that domino set, and my grandfather always wanting to play dominoes, and I'm like, this makes so much sense now.
It all comes together.
Dominoes is good though. I enjoy Dominoes. Also included in 51 worldwide games.
Oh really?
Yeah. so soon you'll see the old porras in Madeira with their switches. Yeah, drinking their breezer, playing dominoes on Switch.
Yeah, you beat me.
They throw the switch on the ground.
Throw a switch in there. Mamma mia.
Wow, we in Italy now? Okay.
Yeah, that's my best Portuguese accents.
Wow, that's shocking. They should take your passport away.
They should. Okay, what else is coming?
That's it. That's it for this week.
Goddamn.
Releases.
This means we move on over to news.
There's a lot of news though. Holy shit!
What a week. Shall we start with the latest one that was confirmed yesterday?
Yeah, basically there's just a ton of Sony news. So Sony is hosting a PlayStation 5 event on June 4th, as has been rumored for a very long time now.
We'll finally see the PlayStation 5.
Well, hopefully,
Maybe.
Man, they could honestly just show games and not even the console. Who the fuck knows?
Shit. Just the Series X was showed in December. It was like a good 6 months ago now.
Yeah, no, I really just want to... I want to see it mostly because I want to know if it's going to be a white or black console. Because everyone saw the trailer for this event yesterday and they're like, oh, look, it's a black DualSense controller. And I'm like, I don't know. It could be a white one in shadow. Like, it doesn't really specifically look black to me.
When they first showed the controller, didn't they show it as white?
Yeah, it's a white. It's
imagining.
two-tone.
Yeah.
It's like white and black. Yeah, that's why everyone was like, "Man, I want a black version of that controller." Because I agree, the white looks kind of not great. But everyone's like, "Oh, look, they confirmed a black controller." I'm like, I don't know. That trailer doesn't make it super clear.
Maybe they'll surprise us and do a white and black console. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, please!
Everything about that.
Oh, gross. But yeah, that event is happening on June 4th. It's apparently going to be an hour long. And there were a lot of interviews that kind of launched at the same time of this announcement with PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan. And he alluded to like the event showing off games that will be coming, at launch and afterwards. Ex-Kotaku writer Jason Schreier says that he expects first-party and third-party games to be shown there. The big thing from all these interviews was that Jim Ryan basically confirmed that Sony has no interest in making PS4 versions for their PS5 exclusives. So why that's important is because Microsoft has confirmed that for the first 2 years of the Xbox Series X life cycle, their exclusives will be multi-generational.
Platform.
Yeah. So like Halo Infinite will still work on Xbox One, but also Series X. And a lot of people have thought, okay, that's cool, but it hamstrings the performance that you can get on the newer console because now you're working with like a lowest common denominator. And that's true. Like Halo Infinite can't have level designs that make use of the fast SSD because they just will not work on an older console. So Sony is going the complete opposite route and going, I think Jim Ryan's exact words were like, we want to give people who've bought new hardware something to be like proud of with that new hardware. So
it's interesting. I mean, it's just two different approaches. So
yeah, it's two different approaches. Yeah,
and I can see arguments for both. Like, I mean, it's cool that if you have an Xbox, you can still look forward to playing all the latest Xbox games for at least the next 2 years. But then, like, I immediately feel less excited for Halo because I'm like, but it's being made to perform the Xbox One. I mean, don't get me wrong. It obviously could still be a great game, but it's not going to necessarily be a next-gen game then.
I think what we're seeing now is actually everyone thought, okay, Sony's going to have to compete with Microsoft on the services, basis, and it seems like they're not. My understanding from just reading through Jim Ryan's like words was like they still believe in console generations and they believe in games that drive those generations, whereas Microsoft is going, we're not really too bothered about whether you purchase the Series X or not, initially. After 2 years, of course, when they start phasing out Xbox One stuff, they'll hope that people have bought the Series X. But they're kind of going, we are riding this good wave of Game Pass. We are happy to have our games on all platforms because essentially we want people to subscribe to Game Pass continuously so they can continue playing our exclusives. So it's a completely different way of thinking. And it's just interesting. I know people always go, oh, Microsoft is fucking up or PlayStation's fucking up by not following the services platform. They're just doing two different things, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either one approach.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. The one thing I didn't like that was announced yesterday as well, apparently in new documentation that's going out to developers, any game that is sent to Sony for certification after July 13th, so that's not released after July 13th, just certification, which usually happens about a month or two or sometimes 3 before release, it will need to support PlayStation 5. So it will not only need to work on PlayStation 5, but it will need to work with all the unique features on the console as well. So not specifically make use of the SSD, but like say there's a, we don't know because they haven't detailed this, but say there's like a boost mode on PS5 that if you click it, then it makes older games run better. Like your game will need to be compatible with that. It's not just like, it just runs on the PS5. Which is cool. It means that there is some form of backwards compatibility to the PlayStation 5, but it seems that Sony is putting that onus on developers rather than building something in on a system level that just makes things work, which is what Microsoft is doing.
That's what they've done.
Yeah, Microsoft's Xbox Series X is basically, Phil Spencer says they hope to have all Xbox One titles compatible at launch, which is huge. And that includes 360 and original Xbox games that are not currently compatible with the Xbox One. But on top of that, it's like the games will just have better frame rates, and this now announced additional AI HDR added to them. So on a system level, the Xbox is able to apply HDR effects to games that never shipped with them. And this is all happening without any input from a developer, like at all. Whereas Sony is going, if you want your game on the PS5, you need to patch it to work on the PS5. Also, if it's out after July, you have to make sure it does it. But like, we aren't doing that work for you. So again, another difference in approach, which in this case, I don't understand Sony's position on this. Like, I think this is a pretty shitty way of handling that.
It's weird. I mean, I think like they've got two different approaches. Like we said, Microsoft's going for the services approach. Sony's not really. Microsoft's like, we got you developers. Sony's like, no.
Yeah,
so
Sony's like, it's your baby. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's. I'm very curious to see how things play out.
I mean, so, it could be the case of it's super easy to get it up and running on a PlayStation 5, in which case it's really not a problem. But yeah,
but I mean, it just even in terms of simple marketing, Xbox this week came out. Where did I read it? It was on Xbox. Was it on the website? I don't know. It was like a press
Xbox
release.
Wire, yeah.
Maybe at Xbox Wire, where it's like our older games will run on the new Series X and often have like double the frames, like out the box. Where Sony hasn't really said that. They're just like
Sony's being super coy with all of that information.
It's very weird, yeah.
But again, I don't think that's a huge problem for Sony, because right now they're just riding this wave of, we have such a great exclusive library of games that is what drives the console. So it's this weird thing where Microsoft is definitely making more consumer-focused decisions that I agree with, but from what I can glean, I mean, the internet is a very small drop of like the overall consensus, but like more people seem pretty happy with Sony's output of games over services right now.
Yeah. Which might change though. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I also, at the end of the day, like I get, I feel like I get worked up on this because like I'm invested in it. Like, definitely is something I want to see Microsoft come back, because I think having competition in the space is really good. And I think this last generation stagnated a bit because Sony felt there was no competition. Like they still put out incredible games, but I do think the sort of drive you saw them have in the late years with the PS3, where they were making huge deals with like indie developers and taking big risks on new IPs. You weren't seeing that this gen because they weren't being pushed by Microsoft.
They're just comfortable, yeah.
Yeah. So I want Microsoft to come back because I want them to push each other, not because it's like, fuck it, I want Sony to eat shit, you know. Like I really don't care. Like at the end of the day, there's going to be two consoles with two sets of great games, but you know, they need to compete with one another.
But I mean, Microsoft, we've said it time and time again, they really are making the right moves. Not even just with services. I mean, the fact that they've got all these game studios that they've snapped up, they're working on stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to come to fruition at some stage. Hopefully. I mean, I'm hoping that out of those studios, we do have like the Microsoft version of Horizon Zero Dawn or Bloodborne or God of War, like these big hitting titles that make people go, holy shit, I need to buy an Xbox.
And that stuff takes time. Like, people are going, oh, they bought the studios 3 years ago. It's like, if you want something that competes on the level of The Last of Us and God of War, that does not take 3 years.
You've got to give them time,
Yeah. And I think that's kind of why they're buying this time with the 2 years of non-exclusivity, because it's like, cool, let's not force people into an ecosystem, into the Series X ecosystem, and not be able to play anything, while they wait for these big exclusives. But when these big exclusives hit, they're going to be only on Series X.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I don't know. But I mean, the long and short of it is that Sony's showing off their new console or stuff on June the 4th, which is cool. Not necessarily the console. But I'm very excited to see some first-party reveals.
Yeah.
Give me that Horizon Zero Dawn 2?
I think that is definitely going to happen. I think a Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to be probably one of the showcases of the of the event.
I'd be shocked if it's not.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if it's not, to be honest. Other news, Take-Two's CEO Strauss Zelnick is not super happy with Google Stadia. He's basically saying that Google overpromised with Stadia's technology. This was his quote. Streaming technology is upon us. The launch of Stadia has been slow. I think there was some overpromising on what the technology could deliver and some consumer disappointment as a result. Yeah. I mean, pretty much agree with him. I think the streaming tech is there, but they promise so many features that are still today. Like, it only recently got a patch to allow you to use the controllers wirelessly. Like, come on. No.
I mean, how long has it been out now? It's like 6-7 months?
Yeah.
More?
They still say it's a beta, but I don't think it ever should have launched as a consumer product that you could purchase in the state that it's in at the moment. So,
yeah.
Ouchies. Google learning the hard way.
Stadia.
Okay. What else? Oh, PS Plus games for June are pretty good. It's Call of Duty World War II and Star Wars Battlefront 2. Two really good shooters. So
I actually really... So Call of Duty World War II, I'm like, like hot and cold in it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Battlefront 2, given that it's been
good.
Overhauled and fixed over the last couple of years, I'm like,
it's a good time.
Maybe I should dive into that.
Yep. We should both dive into that. I'd be keen to play more of that online. I'm keen for World War II just because apparently the campaign's good and I'd never played the campaign. So
yeah, I mean for the campaign it's probably worth getting, but
yeah,
make sure you free up like a terabyte of space on your hard drive.
Yeah, I'll basically download it, finish the game that day, and then just delete it because it'll be like 100 gigs on my hard drive.
Launch your hard drive into the sun.
Yeah.
Did you see in other news that Fast and Furious Crossroads trailer?
Oh dear God! Did you watch that?
That is 100% a mobile game being put on PS4.
It looks so bad. It looks so bad.
Shocking.
It's weird because it's being developed by Slightly Mad. I think it's Slightly Mad Studios, which are really good racing developers, but I think they're just being budget hamstrung by the property. It just looks awful. The game looks terrible.
It looks terrible. Like I mean, and it's being published by Codemasters.
Yeah. On top of it,
I saw that. I was like, that's so weird. Codemasters makes good racing games.
Yeah, they publish like Formula One, one of the best racing sims out there.
Shit.
It's just like it looks like an old game. It just looks like these like you're racing and your car has gadgets and you're shooting a thing and watching a health bar go down. Like the visuals look bad. The voice acting, oh my God. It is so like they've got the actors like Vin Diesel. I don't watch Fast and Furious. I don't know who the fuck acts in that movie. I just know Vin Diesel, man.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, Michelle Rodriguez. Oh yeah, she was on stage with him at the Game Awards.
Who was a dude in the one movie? He was a rapper. Is he still there? What's his name?
DMX. Or I don't know. I know Han. I don't know the actor's name, but I know Han. I know Gal Gadot was in one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like Fast and Furious 4 or 5. Yeah, that was like a big break.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really? Shit. This is some trivia I didn't know.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, the game looks awful. The VO is just terrible, and it just, I don't know. I think the trailer does a good job of explaining just how awful it looks. It just, yeah.
Go watch it and cry.
Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. There was a state of play for The Last of Us 2 this week, but I did not watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
Because I don't want to spoil myself.
No spoilers, please.
All I do know is that at some point Ellie stealth kills someone, and that someone is playing Hotline Miami on a PlayStation Vita, which I think is pretty funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
that Vita's got a battery that lasted like 25 years. Pro Vita.
Is that a teaser for Pro Vita biscuits?
I'd eat a Pro Vita biscuit right now. I'd love it.
Is that a teaser for the Vita too?
Oh my God. Or The Last of Us coming to Vita.
Wow. Can you imagine? We got this game to work on this hardware that's like 10, 15 years old.
Oh my God.
How old is the Vita? It's not that old.
I remember buying the Vita in 2011. End of 2011.
The Vita was, it was like a weird end of PS3 before PS4 console.
I remember I got it in China because I was there on holiday in December 2011. And then it only launched in South Africa, I think like 3 or 4 months later. So yeah.
God
damn. What else?
Don't know.
There was lots of stuff this week. Why am I like blanking on
I don't remember. The Witcher has sold over 50 million copies.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the series.
Which is pretty wild.
Yeah. What's pretty wild is like that number's increased by 17 million in the past like 3 years. And the CD Projekt Red hasn't released anything. So it's like, wow.
They're just printing money at this stage. Well, look. Cyberpunk's coming. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Like hotcakes as well.
I'm very excited for Cyberpunk. I mean, I guess having The Witcher on Netflix also helped, like, people I should play that again.
That boosted, I mean, we covered that where it was like the game sold more or had more concurrent players or something stupid than it did on, like, launch.
Oh, it had more concurrent players than at launch, that's right. Yeah.
Which is okay.
I think the show did wonders for that game. Yeah, and it's just a game that like it came out like 5 years ago and it's still in the conversation. You know what I mean? It's like
a real good
everyone
RPG.
Still talks about it. Yeah,
I really need to play the DLC. I just need to.
Yeah, same.
The thing is, I know it's I suppose it's like Assassin's Creed where you're going to commit like dozens of hours. So it's just about just wrapping my head around like, okay, you're not going to play other stuff for a long time.
Yeah, you've just got to commit to it. Yeah, and just dive in.
But if you like can't play bits and pieces, that's the sort of game you have to focus on and get through it, you know?
Yeah. Hideo Kojima spoke in an interview with a Japanese publication called Live Door? Is it Live Door? Hold on. But basically, he says that so 3 things. Yeah, it was Live Door. 3 things. Firstly, Death Stranding was profitable. It's recouped all development costs and given them enough money to comfortably continue with their next project. Speaking of
Death Stranding 2.
Oh God. Speaking of the next project, they are currently in planning for their next major project, so he couldn't really share much. But he's still interested in pursuing smaller projects while they pursue, the bigger ones. I know a while ago he hinted at like a horror game that could maybe be one of those smaller ones. So I don't know. He also said he definitely has not bought the Silent Hills IP because that rumor was doing the rounds. But the big part of this interview was that he says that recently Kojima Productions had a major project cancelled. So in the interview, he says, recently a major project of mine got cancelled, so I'm pretty pissed, but that's the games industry for you. So curious to know what that was. Yeah. A major project that got canned. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 6.
Even more Solid Snake.
Metal Gear Survive 2.
Ooh, no Kojima on that.
No.
I would love to know what he's working on next because, so I mean, no Death Stranding spoilers, but there could be a sequel. But it's kind of fun if the game's just self-contained, like it is what it is,
Yeah. I also think it would be weird for him to go straight into a sequel for that. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but this is a dude where, like, he's obviously renowned for his wild stories and the Metal Gear Solid franchise, but he came out and proved like, hey, I can do other shit. Like Death Stranding wasn't everyone's game, but it really left an impression on me and I enjoyed it. Like at the end of the day, as much as it was a walking simulator, FedEx simulator, like that story and just the journey, it was really cool.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah.
What other IPs does this man have hiding up his sleeve?
What other type of games?
Ideas or?
Yeah, I'm like curious to see him do more things. Like Death Stranding was a new IP from him for the first time in like over a decade. So I'm keen to see different things from him. I wouldn't say no to Death Stranding 2, but I just think it's too early for that.
That's way too early.
Yeah.
But I'm still adamant that he should make a horror game. He could keep the mechanics, whatever he had planned for Silent Hills, just call it something else.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Know.
And I think it would work if it ends up being like one of his smaller projects that he, not on the scope of a Death Stranding, but something like that is like a 5-6 hour contained thing that could be pretty fucking cool.
Rumor he was working on Resident Evil 8 and that got canned.
Could you imagine? Could you? There's actually a rumor going around that there's a Resident Evil announcement happening in June. So,
really? Ooh, interesting.
What else
is there?
Was this week? Yeah, the Zack Snyder Justice League cut stuff. I know it's not gaming, but I think it's ridiculous. But yeah,
I mean, is it ridiculous?
Justice League was a bad movie. I don't think a cut is going to save it. You
don't think a 4-hour cut won't save it?
I can't imagine a 4-hour cut of that movie. Good Lord.
I have not. The last DC movie I watched was Wonder Woman, and I enjoyed that. I haven't seen Aquaman. I haven't seen Justice League.
Aquaman is a fun time. Aquaman's like dumb, but I enjoyed it, and I could say the same for Shazam. Shazam was like.
Haven't seen Shazam.
Shazam was like, cool, I enjoyed that. I don't think I'm going to watch that again, but it was fun, It
was fun.
Justice League I actively disliked. Like, I walked out of the cinema and I was like, that was bad. Like, I was not happy with that film.
It's so funny. Oh my god.
Speaking of movies, Cate Blanchett has officially joined the Borderlands movie. It was rumored a few weeks ago.
Okay, wait. So... What, her joining or that the movie was rumored?
Oh, no. So they confirmed the movie ages ago, but then there was a rumor that she had joined the movie. Yeah.
What rock was I hiding under when they announced the Borderlands movie? Because I saw that as well.
Randy Pitchford announced it. Yeah.
I don't remember for shit, honestly. So when I saw the headline, she's part of the Borderlands movie. I was like, hang on, making a Borderlands movie?
Yeah, with horror director Eli Roth. So...
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So Cate Blanchett is now there. She's like the only reason I'm kind of interested in this movie now because she's going to play Lilith.
Movie? Yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. It's like
I don't know how they make a movie about this.
Fun, dumb action movie. Like that's the only way. I mean, look, but Borderlands 2, for example, is the gunplay in Borderlands is great, but Borderlands 2 did have very memorable characters.
That's true.
And the story, it's not the story is not the best story, but the little in between moments I really enjoyed. So if they could capture that dialogue and have some good beats in the movie, then why not?
I think if they maybe stay away from like an overarching there's many vaults and this and that, and just stick with maybe like a ragtag group of vault hunters, quote unquote, that take part in like a sort of heist. So make it like a heist movie on an alien planet, on like a Mad Max-ish type planet. That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be quite fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I could like Mad Max, but a heist movie. I would watch that. So,
goddamn.
Who knows? I don't know. It's being made in conjunction with Gearbox, so
who knows?
Iron Man VR got a demo on PSN that you can download right now if you really want to set up PSVR again.
Are you never going back to PSVR?
Fuck no. I looked at it the other day and I was just like, I can't.
That is honestly my thinking. I was like, you know what? I'll skip this gen. I'll play all these things. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I assume there's going to be a PSVR 2 or something in the future. Hopefully.
Yeah, I assume so.
And that all these games will work. So, yeah, let's see.
I just, when it was my only VR solution, sure, I went through the trouble of setting that thing up. But now that I've played Quest, which is A, easier to set up, B, way better at tracking my movement, I can't imagine going back to PSVR. Speaking of Iron Man, there is a Avengers. Remember they're making that Avengers game? Totally forgot about that. They streaming some gameplay at the end of June. I don't know. I keep forgetting this game's out in like fucking September.
June is a pretty big month, yeah. And this game, I don't know.
Legitimately, I saw this announcement. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that game. I saw that game at E3 last year, and it made no impression on me. It was just, I thought it was very boring and bland. And it's the Avengers. How are you doing this to them? But anyway.
Also, I think it's
also like launching a live service game at the end of a console generation seems fucking ill-advised, in my opinion.
Yeah, not only that, but it seems a bit ill-timed in that it feels like the Marvel hype has died down after
Endgame.
The last one, Endgame. It's like they're going to reboot, not reboot, but there are more movies coming, obviously. But that is like the pinnacle of that whole arc. And it feels a bit of like an afterthought. Like, I mean, look. You can't now rush the release of a game to tie into the movie or whatever, but it feels like that game should have been planned like 2-3 years earlier than it was to launch alongside, because it's different. Like it's the same characters but different universes, whatever. But it's in the name, like the Avengers. People know the Avengers, you know.
No, so like imagine this game coming out a month or two after Endgame. It would have sold like crazy.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I don't know.
Even if the game wasn't that good, people just like they have that Avengers sickness, you know, and they're just like going at it. So no, I 100% agree with you. I think I wouldn't be surprised if internally that was the plan, and it just, you know, the realities of development just didn't allow for it. But it does feel like whenever you hear about it now, you go, oh yeah, the Avengers. Oh yeah, I remember they don't look that good like the movie, and then you think about the movie and it's like, oh, it's been some time, you know. It feels weird now.
Who's the dude with the hammer again?
Shit, who's that guy? He's some sort of god, I don't know. Oh yeah, Chris Hemsworth, that's it.
That's it. Robert Downey Jr. is my favorite hero.
Yeah. Speaking of Chris Hemsworth, I think it's a dumb action movie, but it's an enjoyable one on Netflix called Extraction, with him as the lead character. Yes. And the whole movie, he's like shooting people with guns and whatever. I'm just waiting for a hammer to like just appear.
Appear.
Yeah.
Oh god.
He's also got short hair. It's real weird, and he talks in an Australian accent.
Oh, crocky.
Yo, crocky. Look at that crocodile. Oi.
Bring me my hammer.
Oi, governor.
Okay, what other news do we have?
That's it. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
Is that the news?
That's the news.
Should we get
That's
to questions?
The news. I should play Minecraft Dungeons sometime. I've been seeing good reviews
really
for that.
Want to play it.
Yeah. We should
That's
play
Game
co-op.
Pass, so yeah, let's grab it. I'll download it. 100% we'll download it.
Seems like a fun.
Okay. Questions?
Oh yeah. If you want to send us questions, you can email us checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter @checkpointchat. On Instagram @checkpointchat, and the newly released checkpointchat.com, our website, hosts our episodes. It will get updates going forward. It's fairly simple right now. Leave me alone. We've also got a YouTube channel, youtube.com /checkpointchat. You just have to search Checkpoint Chat on YouTube. Go subscribe.
We'll get there. We need to hit 100 subscribers to get
go subscribe so we can get our custom URL.
God damn it. What was I going to say? Oh, can people submit a message on the website yet? No.
Not yet, but that is coming.
That is the plan.
That is definitely on the roadmap. If I had a Trello board, which maybe I should make a Trello board, it would be on the Trello board.
God, Trello boards. Work process. Work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm busy fighting with that website because something I thought that was very cool is now actually causing issues for me. So,
God damn.
Yeah. Websites,
we have,
hooray.
Across all of the platforms we now have, we have received one question this week.
It's okay. We got so many last week.
We got so many last week. From Milesh. So he says...
Oh, we were just talking about Australia.
Yeah, crocky. Okay, so I'm reading this verbatim. He says, hey guys, there is a crazy lady with as many spotted dogs as there are Checkpoint Chat episodes. Aha, you get that? Because I read it at like 6 this morning when I opened my eyes and it didn't make sense, and now I get it.
Cruella de Chat or Checkpoint Deville.
Cruella, Checkpoint Deville, damn. With all this talk about The Last of Us 2 spoilers, I was wondering if you guys take any special measures to avoid these. I don't. I tend to play older games, so I'll come across spoilery info sometimes. I've been very lucky so far. I somehow managed to play God of War about 2 months ago and had no idea about the surprise ending.
Oh, that is cool.
Perhaps I do hear them, but I don't have context and I forget about it. Have you managed to avoid The Last of Us 2 spoilers? Apparently they're correct. Also, what has been the worst spoiler you've encountered?
I think your approach works. I think if you just don't like seek it out and it kind of like you hear things on the periphery and you don't remember them. I do. It's happened a lot for games for me. I remember I played Nier Automata like super late, and I'd listened to podcasts with discussions about it, but because I had no point of reference for it, I just forgot about a lot of the broad strokes. So when I played it, it felt fresh, and the big points hit with me. I'm also of the opinion that yes, it's shit to hear a spoiler. Like, to me, a spoiler is like being told a certain character dies, so that when you play a game, you're anticipating that happening. But I find that a good game or a good TV series or a good movie will still build up to that moment in a way that cannot be spoiled. It's not something that spoilers can take away. So in general, I don't go seeking spoilers. I don't go, I'm being very careful about what I click now with regards to The Last of Us 2, because I know any post that Sony does on Twitter about it will have a spoiler in the reply. So I'm like conscious of not looking at that stuff, but I'm also not like, I'm not muting words and blocking things. And like, at the end of the day, this is part of the industry that I like work in. So if it happens, it happens, whatever.
I must say, nothing comes to, before I start, is there anything that comes to mind that's been spoiled for you, like in your life, that you're like, oh no, it's terrible?
Okay, you go. I'll think of that. I need to think about that.
So I'm pretty much on the same page as Malesh, where, okay, like recently I've been playing more modern games, but I've got terrible memory. So there could be something said about a game that I only get around to in like 3 years' time, whatever. And when it happens, I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, at the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I think I remember reading this, but I had no idea it happened. Like I've just completely forgot about it. But I'm the same. I've never blocked a word or muted a word on Twitter, because I don't know, maybe just the people I follow are nice. They don't just post random spoilers. And I am mindful of, like, when it depends on the game, obviously, but when it comes to watching trailers or whatever, I sort of cut myself off at some stage. I'll watch like a announced trailer, but then I don't watch all the gameplay trailers and this trailer and the story trailer, because I'm like, I want to go into a game fresh. Like, I'm adamant that the less you know about something, the more you appreciate it when you experience it firsthand. You
definitely.
know? So yeah, and just on that, like, I don't, on The Last of Us 2 specifically, when I've clicked on tweets, I mean, I haven't clicked on tweets because I have read that, I know, like, people are spoiling the whole game in the first tweet or in YouTube comments, so I actively avoid that because I don't want it spoiled. Like, I enjoy the surprise of learning something,
yeah, of course, and that's like easy to avoid because you kind of expect it to be this. It's just like, who the fuck reads chat and YouTube, like live YouTube streams anyway? That it's nonsense.
I hate it because it's too much.
Yeah,
it's just a scroll of text happening too fast. Yeah. So,
and it's very easy for your eye to like read 2 words and be like, damn it.
Oh, god damn it. One spoiler, and I don't know where I heard or read it. But when the 5th Harry Potter book came out, Order of the Phoenix, I don't know if someone said to me or I read something that Sirius dies at the end. And I was like,
that's a horrible thing to be spoiled, because that sucks.
Like that's super disappointing, because I was like, oh, like, I hope he doesn't. But
and it's also a surprise, like, it happens out of nowhere.
Yeah. But when I read it, I was like, oh, so I suppose it's true then, But it wasn't like, oh my god, like he does. I was like, oh, I kind of expected
that's kind of shit.
Yeah, so I can't for the life of me, if it was like an offhand, someone told me like, oh, are you reading the book? Oh, you won't believe Sirius dies, whatever. But it was spoiled. I was like, oh, okay.
I think the last book, the Deathly Hallows Part 2, was the first time I've experienced the anxiety of people I know have read this book and I haven't finished it.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my biggest fear. Not my biggest fear, but one of my fears of people define spoilers differently. Like, everyone has a different idea of what a spoiler is or isn't. So you might mention something like a gameplay mechanic, for example. People are like, oh my god, you've spoiled the game for me, whatever. Or you might spoil a story beat, like so-and-so does. But not everyone defines it the same way. So I'm very mindful of, like, have you finished this game? Don't you dare say, like, I don't want to hear a thing. Because this person might think like, oh, what I'm saying is not a spoiler. But to me, I'm like, no, you.
Yeah, it's like a part of the game that's integral to me. Yeah. Although I do think
part of the reason why spoiler culture has become such a contentious thing is because people also, they take the smallest things and consider them spoilers. Like I saw people getting angry this week. International media already have their copies of The Last of Us 2 and have been posting, hey, I've got the game, whatever. And some people posted the start screen, where it's just like, and people are getting fucking mad at that. Like they're like, this is a spoiler. I'm like,
it's literally the splash screen.
It's literally a ship
The Last of Us
docked
2.
in water. That's it. What is there in that image that is spoiling you? They're like, I would have liked to have seen it firsthand. It's like, then you can't exist on the internet. I'm sorry. Like, if something like that
delete yourself
is so detrimental to your enjoyment of this game, a fucking splash start screen, then and I think that's why it gives people power. Like, it's horrible. I think it's dumb. I don't consider something like that a spoiler. I understand why someone would be irritated that they want to be, experienced the first time, but like getting all tied up about that is just, I think it's very stupid.
Yep.
I don't think I can't think of a specific example of something being spoiled for me, but as a cop out, I'm not going to say who, because then I know someone might go spoil this for them in some way, but over the past few weeks, I discovered someone that I worked with has not played the first BioShock and doesn't know the twist of BioShock. And I'm just like, how? How have you avoided that? Like,
I mean, there are lots of instances of that. They're like, I know people who, it's like, I played Fallen Order maybe like a month or two after it launched. But there's shit that happens at the end that could have 100% been spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
But I never saw that, thank God. Because that would have been very disappointing. Like, this happens at the end, like, there goes.
Because it's kind of a good moment, yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I feel like people are born with nowadays, just in their consciousness. Like, you are born knowing that Bruce Willis is dead in The Sixth Sense, or Darth Vader is Luke's father,
What?
There's certain pop culture things that you just absorb,
Well, one of those, I mean, this is very relevant to gaming. In Final Fantasy VII Remake, I mean, nothing happens to Aerith in Remake, but it's common knowledge now that she dies in Final Fantasy VII, the original.
It's like one of the most well-known pieces of gaming, like in terms of a gaming moment,
Yeah, so I was talking to Nick DeBrain, who's finished the game now as well. He was asking me questions, and I was very careful. I was like, well, how much do you know? And he messaged me like, listen, Aerith dying is like pop culture. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so you do know it. So I'm
Everyone
not like going to say anything off. Yeah. Goddamn.
And even then, again,
Spoilers, though.
It's like a 20-something-year-old game. Like,
don't spoil it for people.
Like, if Remake had changed it, then yes, it would be a big deal. But it's like, at some point... Yeah, I don't know. There's this whole conversation with movies, especially like what is the limit on when you can spoil things, and it's just, somewhere out there, someone might not have seen the thing that came out 3 years ago, and at some point the onus is on them if they get spoiled, because it's like, you had this time. If you really didn't want to get spoiled, you would have found a way to watch said thing.
Yeah, my thing is like, if it's 10 years after the fact. Like, okay, 10 years is a bit of a stretch, but if it's long after the fact and someone's like, oh, you spoiled it for me, it's like, but if you really wanted to know, you would have played it or watched it. It's like long ago. So
exactly. That's why I don't agree when people are like posting spoilers 2 days after something's come out. I'm like, okay, just fucking relax, like, honestly. But like, even like half a year later, it's like, if you really didn't want to get spoiled, you can't expect people to not discuss these things in an open platform forever. Like, it's just not going to happen. So
yeah,
but I think Malesh's approach is right. It's just like, you don't go looking for it, and you don't really pay attention to a lot of it, and you often forget it. So yeah. What was the game you played recently that I was like, how did you not get spoiled? I think it was God of War as well, or was it Horizon? I can't.
Don't know, but I mean, those are good examples of, okay, God of War I played like pretty close to launch, so that could.
There was something I remember you played like ages.
But I mean, it could have been, might have been Horizon Zero Dawn, because that is like some big story beats happen. And I knew nothing about that story. Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance
like,
is bliss. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but video games are a good time. Don't spoil them.
Yeah, don't spoil them. I mean, don't
tell us what happens in The Last of Us.
Don't be like some people. I know a lot of people at GameSpot have literally had direct messages on places like Instagram with The Last of Us 2 spoilers, which is real fucked up. So don't do that.
Why are people like this?
See, that's like the other side of the coin. It's like you're intentionally going out of your way to try and ruin something for someone because you know it will like anger them. So yeah, I don't like that. That's gross.
Me angry.
Grr.
Smash Switch.
Me Hulk.
Me Hulk. Yeah, but that's episode 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, thank you for sending your question, Milesh. If you want to send questions like Milesh, you know where to find us. Checkpointchat.com is our website. You can send us messages though on checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com or through any of our social channels. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
All of the things.
It's all linked on the website as well. So it's easy to find.
On TikTok, do you know that PlayStation now has their own TikTok account?
Can't wait to see Joel from The Last of Us flossing.
There are some good memes there.
Can you direct message on TikTok?
I have no idea.
Can you send us a TikTok?
Probably.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Share a link.
I like TikTok. It's pretty fun.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
it's a weird
time.
platform.
Every now and then I find new TikToks and it's a good time.
You have a good laugh?
Yeah, have a good chuckle and you go, that made my day better.
That was a good 15 seconds. Back to reality. I hate everything.
That shawarma kebab filter thing still kills me every time I see it.
Still the best. I can hear the music. I can close my eyes and just hear the song.
I've seen so many different variations of it, but they all get me. It's top tier content.
Oh god.
But yeah, that's episode 101 Checkpoint Chat. It's a bit shorter than last week's, but last week's was super long. So
I mean, last week was our longest episode ever.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm planning to play some new things this week, so we'll have more to chat about next week.
What are you playing?
More Assassin's Creed. Leave me alone.
NDA.
There's no NDAs yet. I haven't signed anything just yet.
I need to finish up Final Fantasy VII so I can get to Wholeblade.
Oh, I need to play Assassin's that too. Yeah.
Well. And Minecraft Dungeons. So many games.
Yeah, Minecraft Dungeons. I kind of want to. Apparently, it's short as well. So maybe we should.
It's like 5-6 hours.
I should get because Shani's got a laptop that could probably play that. Maybe I don't know. Could get Lenska involved as well, and we play 4-player Minecraft Dungeons. It'll be cool.
Ooh, she could do it on her work laptop.
Does her work laptop have like a fancy graphics card for all the modeling software?
No, her laptop's old.
I thought they'd need like powerful ones for all the 3D architecture stuff.
I think it is powerful, but it's an old powerful laptop.
It's fine. Just load a Game Pass on there. Fucking get it going.
15 rand, man.
Boom.
I mean, come on, what are you gonna do?
Nailed it.
Bam. Yeah, I still need to get Lenska to play Minecraft. I think she would love the shit out of it.
I think she would really like it. Yeah, I agree. She would lose herself, and then you let her play on your desktop with that good RTX.
I still really want to try that.
Me too.
One day.
Me too. I need to download that and just give it a go.
Those well-lit blocks. Holy shit. Am I right?
Am I right? Yeah. Okay, bye.
Ray tracings. Okay, bye.
Thanks for listening.
It's episode 101.
We will see you next week. As always, stay safe and warm. It's very cold.
Stay frosty.
No, stay the opposite of frosty. Yeah.
Stay warm.
Stay toasty. What's the opposite? There we go. Toasty. Stay toasty.
Make toast and stay toasty.
Toast with soups. Oh my god.
It's so good. I'm gonna go eat now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.